up, guys? Holyknight is with you, bringing you a vermilion review, episode 5. Before I get into the review, I just want to apologize for this being a day late. Yesterday, Saturday, and the day before on Friday, I had to work double shifts, both nights. So I was like, I couldn't do any of my reviews. So, and then tonight I have to go back to work. So, I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but I just wanted to let you know, those that are following me, why I'm doing this late. But yeah, we got a lot in this episode to talk about. First, the starting point. Supposedly there's a traitor amongst the mix, because it was stated that they got ambushed over there, which they shouldn't have been, because they go to random spots of the red light districts, you know, where the miss is at. So they shouldn't have been easy to find, but they were too easy and got ambushed. So supposedly they believe there's a traitor amongst them giving out information. And of course, the first person to blame was the detective, since he doesn't want to participate and that he has knowledge of them. So, but he states, I got nothing to sell y'all out with. I would gain nothing, so there's no point for me. So he had a good argument for it, even though he was the one who brought it up in the first place. But that was interesting. And we also see that Shihiro is thinking about what the girl with the long black hair said about, is your mother's fault, and etc. And it's funny because after 5 episodes, we finally got her name. Her name is Yuri. So, because the guy with the blue hair and the blue jacket and the goggles, he stated it. So, and we don't know his name still, but at least we know the female's name is Yuri. So that's nice to know. But yeah, we got that with Yuri. Then we got, like, the doctor is noticing Shihiro's, like, sadness and attitude. So after talking to the lady of the church, Mother Katetsu, the Kachatsa, that basically Mother Earth for short. But after the little debate, they got, like, some time off to rest, and the doctor told him to rest. But then he just, Shiro, he just babbles on about, I can't remember my past. He has a cold sweat, his hand is shaking, and he's remembering the words spoken to him about Yuri, about, is your mother's fault. Then, as always, the detective pops out of nowhere and says, if you don't know anything about yourself, that means I know more than you. Then Shihiro asks him, hey, what do you know about me? And stuff. And supposedly 10 years back, there was an explosion somewhere in a laboratory that was doing something that was illegal, but they're not sure what it was exactly, because the person who started this was supposedly Shiro's mother. But during that explosion, they found no body of her, so they put her down as a missing report. So that was interesting to see, because it's like, wait a minute, she caused the explosion supposedly 10 years ago, yet she went missing. She didn't get caught in the explosion that she caused. So I have a couple of theories on that, but I'm gonna save that for later. And then after he rumbles on about that, detective Kakashu or something like that, I always pronounce his name wrong, but I'm just gonna call him Kaki for now, since that's like the first half of his name. Can't remember the second half. But Kaki's, he's talking about that, and he's rumbling about, you don't know nothing about your mother, it's impossible, maybe that's why you killed your father, blah blah blah. He just started rambling on about things about his past, and I'm like, dang, this kid had a rough life and he's only 14. And I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And the doctor, I love the doctor, he's like my favorite character. Inuki, he comes in and he pushes the detective back and he tells him to shut up, and he stops him. And then we skip to, like, the next scene where Katetsu and Shihiro's in the hospital visiting their friend who's, like, half beastified. And the nurse comes in there. It's the assistant of the doctor. She comes in there. She see Katetsu, watching the news and stuff, and she's like, oh, are you supposed to be studying in college so you won't fail your exam? And then he says, I'm already in college. And she's like, oh, I thought she was the first year failure. And she takes off his earphones and she cleans it off and then she puts it on and she starts watching it with him. But a couple of seconds later, he just rips it off her. And it was just funny seeing their interaction. But then you have Cheryl there just sighing and being sad and looking out the window. And later on, we got a discussion between him and the doctor. And the doctor's like being that mentor figure to him, you know. Since he has no adult now, since the only adult that he used to talk to is dead, which was Katetsu's father. So now at least the doctor's in his life. But I'm not sure how long that's gonna last because after they leave the hospital, we find the female detective from the second episode, who was investigating the house and stuff. She showed up with her assistant, and her assistant is the chick that Katetsu fought last time, who she thought that Katetsu was on the bad guy side. And we found out that this female detective and this chick, believe their name is Lulong, something like that. Forgive me about the names, but I'm not good with Japanese names and I'm horrible at remembering names. But they confronted them. They found out that they're in Guardian States. Guardian State is like a third organization, because you got the evil organization Chaos, then you got the heroic legends, and then you have these new ones called Guardian States, or Guardian Stats. My fault. But yeah, they confront them, and these two ladies confront Katetsu and Shihiro, and you know, they ask them for like information on the guy with the glasses, because supposedly he's going around killing people like a wild beast and ripping them apart. So, and you know, they doing some spying. We see a couple of side notes of the detective and his assistant, the male one, Kaki. We see him spying on the dude with the glasses, and he's spying on the chick with the black hair as well, Yuri. And basically it gets down to the point where later on in the episode, Shihiro has like this vision of something bad happening to the doctor, so he calls the hospital. His assistant picks it up, and when she goes to see the doctor, he breaks out the window, and there's files all over the floor and stuff like that. The computer's on, but it's like tipped, and she just starts looking at the window sighing. And then we get this next part where Katetsu and the girl that he fought last time are working together looking for, you know, information. The girl, you know, she hears a scream, so she goes to it. She sees a dead girl ripped apart, and when she's about to turn around to run to get, you know, back up, we see that the creature grabbed her by her neck and put her against the wall, and it looks like a werewolf, but mixed with like some type of like gate creature parts from the creatures that they summoned from the gate, like a mixer of both, and it's like all red. It looks pretty cool. It chokes her, and it's trying to like choke her out to like, you know, strangle her. But Katetsu come in and swing his sword. He misses, of course, because the thing lets her go and jumps back, but then it runs away. And the girl told him, you know, Katetsu, just leave me and run after him. But Katetsu was like, no, I can't just leave you here in this bad state. And she gives him like this weird look, like Katetsu, and then it just like it stops there and it jumps somewhere else. And Shihiro, who's looking for the doctor, he bumps into this school of sick kids, I believe, or mentally ill kids, something like that. You have to read the signs in the corner. But basically, when they said doctor, so he thinking, oh, my doctor must be in there. When he gets in front of the gate, in front of the doors, he realized that Yuri is in there playing with these kids. And Yuri, she looks like a sweet person. She's smiling, she's playing with the kids. But that's weird, because usually when we see her, she's usually depressed and sad. So it's like, you know, it's like we get to see everyone's lives, and how everyone has a good side and a bad side, and the bad side is like their real self, and the happy side is like a facade stuff that they put on display. So it's nice to see that there's not the main character and his best friend Shiro and Katetsu. They're not the only ones going through something. The guy with the black hair and the glasses, Yuri, the detective and his assistant, the doctor and his assistant, because remember a couple of episodes he was sick taking medication. When at the end of this episode we find out that that red wolf creature is actually him, and he starts to scream, and yes, you've seen the thumbnail, he's like super shocked because he's covered in blood. and that's basically the episode. But before I get into the doctor part, I want to break down the mother part. In my belief, since they didn't find a body and they put her as missing, I believe that probably Shiro's mother is most likely still alive. And I doubt if she's part of the Chaos Brigade, because that's where Yuri's at and stuff, and she blamed her for stuff. So if she's not in like the Guardian Stats organization and like keeping like a low profile, she's probably in a whole nother organization somewhere doing something else. Who knows? But yeah, I have a feeling that his mom is gonna play a really, really big part, and that she's still alive. Just wanted to throw that out there for my prediction. And when it comes to Inaki, Doctor, who's my favorite character so far, I kind of feel bad for him because it's like, it looked like he was being sick and he was dying of sickness. Then in this episode, we got Chihiro seeing him like die. Like basically he was on the ground laying down like choking or having a seizure or something, and this pretense that he was having. So I have this feeling that he's gonna die soon, and I actually like him, so I don't want him to die. But if he dies for like story plot progression, then that's cool. I don't mind that. As long as the character dies for a good cause in a story, then that's okay, I guess. But I wouldn't like really like it, but it is what it is. But yeah, sadly, Inaki is the wolf. So I mean, I don't think he's doing this intentionally. I believe like when certain nights when it falls, this beast mode just takes over him and it's doing it. I don't think it's him intentionally, because he wouldn't be crying and screaming if it was him doing it intentionally. Not to mention he's a doctor, and he said earlier, my job is to save everybody. I don't like the idea of killing some to save, kill one to kill another. I mean, kill one to save another. So we know that's his mindset, and we know he's a doctor. So most likely he's not doing this intentionally again. Like I said, he's just going beast mode, you know. Maybe this is a curse he got. Maybe because, maybe, you know, maybe before he unlocked his heroic power, he was becoming a geek familiar, maybe. And the power contradicted himself and he saved himself. But maybe now he's cursed and that's why he got a werewolf form at night. But during the day he's a blood heroic hero. So, I mean, I don't know. I find the Doctor very interesting, and Shiro as well, for our main character, is very interesting. This manga doesn't have a lot of fight scenes, or action scenes I should say, but when it comes to like the story and like the dialogue and the interaction with the character, is very, very unique, and that's what I love about it so far. 5 episodes in, and if I'm not mistaken, this is supposed to be a 24 episode series, so we got 19 left to go, and I'm really looking forward to it. But leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions below. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also, the site that I go to review High School Girl didn't have episode 5 out yet, so I'm not sure if that's on delay or it didn't come out this week. But since I have to go to work later, I'm not sure what's gonna happen. That's probably gonna be late too. So if I don't really release that later on tonight, I'll probably release it tomorrow morning before I go back to work. So yeah, just giving you a heads up on that. But yeah, leave your thoughts, comments, and opinions, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.